Let's give it up for our first honoree, William Bill Monroe, Secretary to the Governor. Our second honoree serves in the City Council. Elizabeth Crowley in 2008 was elected to represent as the first Democrat to be elected in that district, the 30th Council District, which covers the Queens neighborhoods of Glendale, Maspeth, Middle Village, Ridgewood, Woodside, and Woodhaven. For nearly 7 years, she has served as chair of the Committee on Fire and Criminal Justice Services, which oversees the Fire Department, the Department of Correction, the Department of Probation, and the Office of Emergency Management. From March 2012 to 2016, Councilmember Crowley served as co-chair of the Council's Women Caucus. As chair of the Fire and Criminal Justice Services Committee, she has been a powerful voice against cuts to uniformed personnel, including leading a citywide effort to save our firehouses, such as the firehouse here in City Island. And of course, to improve our 911 call-taking center. Councilmember Crowley was limited to a 2-year term as Women Caucus co-chair, and she worked as a caucus to make the caucus a truly influential voice in the City Council. She spearheaded legislative changes that address equal pay and equal opportunity in the workplace, and pushes for all genders to be welcome in the fields of the fire department and other agencies in the City of New York. She currently sits on the following committees: the Civil Service and Labor Committee, the Community Development, Cultural Affairs and Libraries, Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities, Alcoholism, Drug Abuse and Disability Services, and the Women's Issues Committee. Councilmember Crowley has worked to enhance physical education in all of our New York City schools, and was proud to see a $20 million commitment from the city to ensure that all elementary schools have a certified physical education instructor. Most recently, she has been working to reactivate commuter service along the Long Island Railroad's Lower Montauk line, aiming to bring a light rail that would run from Jamaica to Long Island City. Hopefully one day we can all work together so that we can have, as I said in my State of the Borough address, an MTA line that connects the Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn. The reason why I'm also honoring Elizabeth Crowley here today is because we need to thank those individuals who may perhaps represent other parts of the city, but when they're making decisions, whether it's legislatively, whether it's in the budget, like I've mentioned earlier, saving the firehouse in City Island, which raised a lot of anxieties on the residents over there, because it would have taken the next nearest firehouse a very long time to get to City Island. Those of us from the Bronx know that there's only one way in and one way out. So that was important to us, Councilwoman. But every time that you are fighting for our schools, every time that you're fighting for equal pay, every time that you're fighting for representation of women in all of our agencies, every time that you're fighting for mental health issues, you're not only doing it for your councilmatic district in Queens, but you're also doing it and it's benefiting us here in the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome and celebrate our second honoree, Councilwoman Elizabeth Crowley.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm so thrilled to be here in the Bronx at Galen Park, a place that truly feels at home to me. I want to thank your borough president for this distinguished honor today, for inviting me here to be with you to celebrate Irish culture and Irish history. Your borough president, he's been a tireless leader for our kids and our families. He's done a lot for the borough of Bronx, and he's made it a whole lot greener. So us Irish, we love him for that. The environmentalists do as well. But I'm happy and proud to call you a friend. And I know that he has a vision that can make the whole city much better. So we're loving what he's doing here in the Bronx, but we're looking forward to one day where you could come out to Queens more frequently too. Receiving recognition today, it's not just for me, but for all the Irish Americans who have made a difference in our city and in our country. And New York owes its success, and in great part, to the countless immigrants who have made their way to our shores since our earliest days. Throughout the month of March, we pay special tribute to the millions of Americans who trace their lineage to Ireland, and the Irish and Irish American citizens who continue to enrich our city and our nation. Right here in the Bronx, where a stone's throw away from Woodlawn, the little Ireland of New York City, where so many native Irish still come to live. I'm proud to be a product of immigrants. My grandparents left Ireland with hardly anything in their pockets. They came here to make a better life for themselves. The beauty of our city and our country is that all of us came from somewhere else. And because of the gifts we were given from generations before us, preserving our culture and history is very important and personal. Today we celebrate that tradition right here in the Bronx, tomorrow on Fifth Avenue, and all over the world. My Irish story starts when I was born the 14th child of 15 children. So you can imagine my parents really liked each other. And most places I go, there's always someone in the room that knows one of my siblings. But growing up in a big family like that, I always had to fight for my fair share. So it's no wonder I went into politics to fight for other people's fair share. But my Irish family taught me how to fight for what you believe in, and to never back down from that fight. I want to thank the other representatives who are here today, Assemblyman Dinowitz, Deputy Borough President Green, and of course Darcel Clark, our Borough District Attorney. They're all so dedicated to making our communities and our city a better place for all of us. So I leave you with a blessing, an Irish blessing. May your neighbors respect you, trouble neglect you, the angels protect you, and heaven accept you. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Councilwoman Elizabeth Crowley. So taking nothing away from our final honoree, it's just that Secretary Bill Morrow has to get up to Albany. They're working on the budget, and the councilwoman has to get to a meeting down at City Hall. But when you speak of the Irish community and their contributions, we speak of institutions, such as this here at Gaelic Park, where we usually, over the last couple of years, we've been to the Rambling House. But you cannot speak of Irish-based institutions without speaking of Glackens over on 149th Street in the South Bronx. We're here with Tom Glacken. He started bartending part-time at his father's bar. Glacken's Bar and Grill is located on East 149th Street between Girard and Walton Avenues in 1951. Over the last 65 years, he is still a fixture behind the bar, known for its stiff drinks, and I'm not hinting at anything here, and welcoming atmosphere. Glackens has said in the past that his bar still functions as a town hall of sorts where public servants and city workers can come in and swap stories over a little libation. The bar marks 75 years of being, that's a long time, 75 years, right? 75 years of being the fabric of the South Bronx, And that was back in 2015 when we had a day-long celebration there. This longevity was recognized by yours truly and Governor Andrew Cuomo, among others. The walls of the ancient bar has been obscured by newspaper clippings and photographs of our NYPD and the fire department, patches and stickers. You know, this is a place where folks really find solidarity with each other. Those men and women who have to release a little bit of stress from keeping us safe and saving lives. And so there's a whole team that's here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Tom Glackens for this honoree presentation. Come on, give it up, guys.
Just bear with me. I have a bit of a sore throat, and I might limit what I have to say, but I think it's well taken care of between the politicians that we have and that lovely young lady from Channel 11. What a story. Believe me, I love you. But the bar in itself is history in the making, believe me. My father came over in the early part of the 20th century, the first time from Ireland, and couldn't make a go here because they weren't serving Irish. They didn't much less care for them. And those that had the run of the city much less had to say what was going on. But he got back home, as he calls it, and he said that if you can't make it in New York, you can't make it any other place. Well, he gave in, came back. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, bootlegging was at its height. And he had a way of working into it, learned the business fully, and lo and behold, when he had a buck to get a place of his own, in come the repeal of Prohibition. I was born and he was on the balls, you know what. Needless to say, he came into it. We started in actually living in the Willis Avenue area around 138 and Willis. I was born up in Highbridge with Sacred Heart Parish, didn't have much to do up there. Mostly St. Jerome's down in the Willis Avenue group. My father, meanwhile, had been working in a place called Haggerty's on Willis Avenue, got a stronghold, got a couple of bucks extra, met another countryman by the name of Jim Lavelle. He was the Iceman, and a powerful man he was. The two got together. They bought out this bar. He went bankrupt. There was a bit too much gambling, drinking, and feminine company. So he got a break. He got a discount. Needless to say now, he was fighting 4 other established bars in the neighborhood. Because of the complexity of the neighborhood, the Bronx Terminal Market and its workers, the Post Office Department, the Bronx County Jail, and the neighboring people themselves, he had quite a job ahead of him, but he had one break. There was a man from home with him, and they're building Cardinal Hayes. He come down and he says, Michael, he says, I see you have a chef down here. Would you mind some business? He sent the whole bloody lot down, and the place only holds 25. He says, you got to do me a favor, he says. The meal and 3 beers is $1, corned beef and cabbage, and 3 beers for $1. Well, he got his foot in the door, and he never let go of it. So I said to him, Dad, I says, you know, what's the secret? He says, well, when you get them in, he says, don't forget they're all working people. And he says, the first thing you have to do is give them a decent drink and at a fair price, and you're bound to get them back. Well, it took 75 years, and if they haven't died or retired or what have you, they're still there today, believe me. We have families, we have second, in some cases, third generations that are coming back. Those that retired physically, maybe they couldn't make it, moved on to different states and what have you, but they send the relatives up. We're always noted for our famous football season. They're up for naturally St. Patrick's Day. They'll love it. If they can't make it, they'll call you or send you a card and let you know what's going on. But the old man had one thing in common. He says, it is a watering hole. And believe it or not, without naming names, and there are quite a few, and my memory is quite short, but honestly, I've seen people coming out from the different Catholic schools and the public schools as well. In my day, the teacher wasn't afraid to put the rod to you, believe me. I was nothing but a troublemaker. Monday to Thursday was great. Friday, I made up for it. And I'm also a graduate from Holy Cross up in Clawson Point. We had the last trolley cars there, believe it or not. And a graduate of Mount St. Michael's. And the year we played Cardinal Hayes, I got caught for clipping. We lost the touchdown and lost the game. And Howie Smith was looking to kill me. But the bar went through it. It went through the war. It went through the competition. And little by little, as the neighborhood changed, the bars went out of business. There's only 2 there today. But the Bronx is brought up by the politicians now that you know, and especially President Diaz now, is really come a long way from my day. Believe me, the trolley cars are gone, what have you. Business is improving, the school system is improving. And what more can I say? It's true, I live in Nassau County, but there's nothing like the Bronx. It's getting better all the time. In fact, they're giving us a hint. They want us out. They want the property, really. And they said, how would you like to sit down in a decent place and look at the Harlem River? I says, I'd sooner sit up in the pub, have a good belt, and the hell with the river. I'm not known to talk so much, but then again, sometimes I talk too much. But I've really enjoyed this, and I don't know what to say for the honor. I really appreciate it, believe me. The family has been glacking from the get-go. From 3 brothers of mine who have since passed, I'm the last one of them. The 2 girls, they don't drink, they're both married. They're living down in Florida, they could care less about it. And I think you're going to see the last one now, which Tom is my son here. I think some of you know him from stopping in and having a few. But the idea of the bar, the concept of it is a get-together. To meet, you meet different people, you meet different religious backgrounds, political backgrounds, and it means a lot because you can sit down and you find out there's a place there where you can get a hand. In one case, where I worked for American Airlines, I couldn't take the bar anymore. We passed it on from my father to Martin, who just passed away recently, for myself and to my son Tom. But I worked for American Airlines for 38 years. I was an A&P mechanic there. And a lot of them often heard about the bar, and I took them down. And it's unbelievable. They've been to places all over the world, naturally, that free flying and what have you. They can't find another place like it. But it's a great watering hole. It's a great meeting hole. But I won't belabor you anymore, because the stories can go on and on. I've learned a lot tonight about the politicians. I've learned a lot about the Bronx, how it's growing, but I did see it because I'm back here all the time. If it isn't the racetrack or up in the Woodlawn section, especially there where our relief bartender, Patrick Munnelly, actually we call him one of the Glackens as well. He's a post office man, but he's one of our best relief bartenders there. Has the honor of being with us today. So if you happen to be up on 149th and seeing the post office, or coming down on the weekends, Patrick's there more than glad to greet you. But I'd like to take it this time, though. I'm still a great reader of Irish history, believe it or not, and Irish authors. It was late in life, because when I had the Maris brothers, there was no Irish history up there. It was beat them out, and 4 years of Latin, but I never met a Roman, so heaven only knows what I was going to turn into. But allow me to read this one here. I've read a lot. Tomorrow's our big day. And pardon the glasses, age does catch up with me. It's an old Irish blessing. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May God and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. With all life's passing seasons, bring the best to you and yours. Thank you.
This is great, isn't it? A person who's over 80 years old, right? An Irishman in the South Bronx saying no to gentrification. Let's give him a strong round of applause. So what I want to do is I want to bring up Ms. Pam Robbins, who's representing the Consul General's office, so that we can present your proclamation commemorating today here in the Bronx, the Irish Heritage and Culture Day here in the Bronx.
Thank you very much for the invite to here. I'm not too long in New York, only since last September, so this is actually my first time up in Gailey Park, but I hope to be here an awful lot during the summertime and enjoy everything that happens up here. Fantastic afternoon, congratulations to all the honorees, and a pleasure to be here, and I bring this back with a lot of pride to the consulate. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Robbins, and please don't leave because our kids are going to perform, but I do want to bring up Robert from the New York State Quartz Pipes and Drums Band, who are with us every year. Let's give him a strong round of applause. I want to present this citation. Let's thank him for his service. I want to give a special thanks to my staff. Let's thank my staff for all the work that they do. And Coca-Cola and McGee, would you please come back up? I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name. It's that you really got me with that Mr. Vitality. You threw me off with that. Let's give McGee Hickey a strong round of applause for being with us here today, and more importantly for what she does every single day in our city and for the tri-state area.
Thank you so much. And my closest friends call me Maggie, so it's okay. That just means we're very close. All right, I hope we still have time for some dancing, because how could it be the day before St. Patrick's Day without some great dancing? Oh, I was called up and I don't have my glasses, so I can't read properly. Once again, age catching up to all of us. We have the Golding Academy of Irish Dancers, recently founded by owner and head instructor Caitlin Golding. Today we have featured dancers from the Golding Academy. They are Madison, Megan, and Jack Donahue, representing PS 19, the Judith K. Wise Public School in the Woodlawn section of the Bronx. These incredible dancers are not only accomplished champion dancers, but also siblings. Jack, Madison, and Megan represented the Golding Academy this past November in their regional championship and came home with top placements, including a qualification for Jack to attend the World Irish Dancing Championships next month in Dublin. So here come our dancers, the Golding Academy of Irish Dance.
picture. The camera behind him.
Yes, so I just want to thank them. But I'm tired just looking at them, right? Listen, I was having this conversation with Sarah while they were dancing. No matter what culture you're from, and as we celebrate our diversity, it seems harder and harder in this day and age to maintain that culture, right, and the traditions. Whether you're Puerto Rican or whether you're Irish. We did our Greek heritage celebration last week, and there were kids there doing traditional Greek dancing. And so, first of all, let me just thank the parents and the adults for maintaining that. And second of all, we really need to recognize, because these kids face a lot of different exterior forces that don't understand the culture and are pulling them away. And the fact that not only are they here doing this, but that they're doing it at the highest levels, that deserves a strong round of applause and recognition. You guys are cool, and we really appreciate it. Okay? And we wish you all the best in Dublin. When is that happening? Are you going to Dublin? Around Easter. So I don't know what the prize is, but if you're bringing home the gold, bring it to the Bronx, okay? We wish him the luck of the Irish, right? Ladies and gentlemen, our youth here, let's give them one strong round of applause. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, McGee Hickey. Congratulations to all of the honorees. God bless you and God bless the Bronx.